workout routine allows you to increase the mass and strength of your torso. Since the bench press is a compound or multi-joint exercise, you will be able to lift a heavy workload. Also, you should not hesitate to go heavy as long as you use the best possible range of motion and exercise form. Never bounce weights off your chest, but rather focus on moving the resistance in a slow and controlled manner. 2 seconds down and 2 seconds up. Also, focus on squeezing your muscles during the concentric phase to force more blood and thus nutrients to your target muscles. When doing the bench press, complete 3 to 5 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Work until muscle failure for optimal muscle building and strengthening benefits.
The origin of the pectoralis major is the upper fibers of the clavicular head, the medial half of the anterior surface of the clavicle, and the lower fibers of the sternal head, anterior surface of the costal cartilages of the first 6 ribs and adjacent portion of the sternum. The insertion is a flat tendon 2 or 3 inches wide to the lateral lip of the intertubercle groove of the humerus, and its actions are upper fibers, clavicular head, internal rotation, horizontal abduction, flexion up to about 60 degrees, abduction once the arm is abducted 90 degrees, the upper fibers assist in further abduction, adduction, and adduction with the arm below 90 degrees, abduction, the glenohumeral joint. Lower fibers of the sternal head, internal rotation, horizontal adduction, and adduction and extension of the glenohumeral joint from a flexed position to an anatomical position.
The deltoid muscle. The origin of the deltoid muscle is the anterior lateral third of the clavicle, the lateral aspect of the acromion process, the inferior edge of the spine of the scapula. The insertion is the deltoid tuberosity on the lateral humerus. The action of the deltoid muscle. The anterior fibers are abduction, flexion, horizontal adduction, and internal rotation of the glenohumeral joint. The middle fibers, abduction of the glenohumeral joint. The posterior fibers is abduction, extension, horizontal abduction, and external rotation of the glenohumeral joint.
The coracobrachialis muscle. The origin is the coracoid process of the scapula. The insertion is in the middle of the medial border of the humeral shaft. The action for it is flexion of the glenohumeral joint, adduction of the glenohumeral joint, and horizontal adduction of the glenohumeral joint.
Biceps brachii muscle. Long head is the origin. Supraglenoid tubercle above the superior lip of the glenoid fossa. Short head, the coracoid process of the scapula, and the upper lip of the glenoid fossa in conjunction with the proximal attachment of the coracobrachialis. The insertion point is the tuberosity of the radius and the bicipital aponeurosis. The actions that the biceps brachii muscle follow is the flexion of the elbow, supination of the forearm, weak flexion of the shoulder joint, weak abduction of the shoulder joint when the shoulder joint is external rotation.